Welcome to Legends and Laughs. I'm Emily Connor Cooper, and today we're shining the spotlight on a duo whose name says it all, Twice as Nice. Wesley Stevens and Shelly Dartez Stevens have spent years entertaining audiences around the world with music, style, personality, and a stage presence that truly lives up to their nickname, the Dynamic Duo. Wesley's musical journey began with serious roots. After attending the Juilliard School of Music in New York City, he went on to record, produce, and write with a legendary Philadelphia International Records label known around the world as the Sound of Philadelphia. He became part of the Stylistics hit-making legacy, including the Grammy-nominated song You Make Me Feel Brand New, and later worked with major names including the Commodores, Lionel Richie, and BT Express. Shelly brings her own powerhouse background to the stage with experience in Broadway musicals, including Sweet Charity and Guys and Dolls. With her vocal range, elegance, and magnetic personality, she's become the perfect match for Wesley's smooth vocals and masterful musicianship. As Twice as Nice, they have performed for international audiences, headlined cruise entertainment, sung in multiple languages, and built a reputation for versatility, class, and unforgettable live performance. Today we get to know the couple behind the music, their journey, their stories, and the career that has made them twice the music, twice the style, and twice as nice. I know a thing or two about show business. You could say it's in my blood. I was born and raised in Texas, made my way to New York City to study at NYU, and I landed a job as a producer with NBC, CBS, and even on Broadway. In addition, my life became a lot more interesting when I met Pat Cooper at the Friars Club. From the hustle and bustle of New York City to the glitz and glamour of Las Vegas, I've had the privilege of being surrounded by some of the funniest and most talented people in the world. And today you'll hear from people who knew Pat and who Pat knew, and in many ways you won't hear anywhere else. So sit back and relax and get ready to hear some stories that will make you laugh, cry, and maybe even scratch your head a little. This is Legends and Laughs, where the humor never stops and the legends never fade. Hi, welcome to Legends and Laughs. I'm Emily Connor Cooper, and I'm really excited about our show today because my two guests are not only legendary performers, they are two of the nicest people I know, and they happen to be called Twice as Nice. And I would like to welcome to the studio today, Wesley and Shelly Stevens.
Emily, it's such a pleasure to be here with you.
It's great to be here.
Wesley and Shelly, Twice as Nice, which you are.
Some say.
Oh, you're so sweet.
I got to tell you, you all are really, you have very impressive resumes. You've been in show business for a really long time. It's a little overwhelming to see all that you've done. There's no way we can cover it all today. But first of all, Wesley, I got to talk to you about the Stylistics, because as a kid, as a child, a toddler, I was listening to you all on the radio, and you recorded You Make Me Feel Brand New.
Yeah, that's one of them.
That was a biggie that I've heard you sing live at Lola's.
Yeah.
But I just remember hearing those songs with in the Spinners and the OJs, all that R&B from the early '70s, which was a part of my, my creating as music is so important to children.
Yeah,
But that was part of my personality.
Yeah. The best part that I find about it, I mean, as an artist, when a child comes up to me and they said, "Sir, I'm here because of you," and I said, "Because of me?" And they said, "Yes, my mother's your songs all the time, my father, that's all I know." And they tell me I'm here because of you. So to me, that's like one of the best compliments that you could ever feel. It really is a warm thing when a person tells you something like that.
But you're not just with the Stylistics. You've performed with many other people, and
yes, the Commodores, OJs, Hal Melvin and the Blue Notes. I wrote songs for a lot of different people with Philadelphia International Records. I was with them from about the age of 15 years old until about 25. I did quite a few years with those guys. We released, I would say, somewhere in the neighborhood of 25 hit records.
That's amazing. Yeah. And then Shelly, you have a great resume from Broadway.
Yeah.
You have a lot of credits.
I did Broadway musicals back in the day, and It's funny how I got into it. It was a friend of mine, very good girlfriend, and she went to an audition for a Broadway show, and it was called Sweet Charity. And I said, oh, okay, I'll go with you, right? So I went with her, and, you know, I'm trying to build her up because she's my friend. I'm like, girls, don't worry about it. These girls can't sing. You got this. I know you got the part. And I'm like, yeah, yeah. Anyway, there was a guy sitting next to me, and he's like, oh, I heard your comments. He says, do you think you can do better? And I'm like, yeah. He says, well, why aren't you auditioning? And I said, because everybody's singing songs from the show. I don't know the show. I don't know any songs from the show. So no, I don't want to audition. And he goes, well, you can sing any song you like. And at the time, my favorite artist was Barbra Streisand. So I sang The Way We Were, and I got the part. And my girlfriend didn't get it, and I felt so bad because I didn't mean to jump in her steps. Yeah, I did.
But later we hired her in our band.
Yeah.
Later,
Wow.
so we kind of made amends.
Yeah, later on when we got a band together,
Yeah.
we put her in the band.
Well, you all have lived in Las Vegas for quite a while. You're originally from Philadelphia, right?
Yeah,
we
yeah.
26 years now. Thing is, we tour a lot. I mean, over the 26 years, we were on cruise ships for at least 23 years. And we've just been home now for the first time for 3 years. First time ever.
Wow.
And it feels kind of strange, but
And I see you've been to over 60 countries. And
yes.
You've done all the big cruise lines, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Norwegian, Star Cruise. We've done Royal Caribbean.
Viking.
Viking.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
our newest one that we just recently started on.
Yeah,
which
if it
is really
wasn't for COVID, we probably would still be in Asia right now. So,
Probably.
you know, when COVID hit and everything shut down, especially for cruise ships, and that sent us back home to Vegas, and we were like, oh my God, it's like starting all over. You know, I'm like, here we go again. You know, how old are we? We're starting over in the business in a new town because we didn't want to go back to Philadelphia because, first of all, it's cold, it's winter,
Yeah.
it's snow. I'm like,
Yeah, that's
no.
one of the reasons we got out of there.
I
but-
wanted to move to LA to continue my acting career. And Wesley was like, no, we're moving to Vegas. Been there many times. That's where the music is. Let's go there. And I'm like, okay. He goes, I'll drive you to LA if you need to go for an audition. So that's how we ended up here. So we're here.
That's
and
great.
we're like, we didn't know many people because we were always on the water, on the ships. And somehow we managed to settle in and meet great people like you. And now
Aw.
things are starting to happen.
No, you all are really special people and fun and
too
sweet.
sweet.
You really are nice people. So, Wesley, you played with the Stylistics here in Vegas a lot. Is that right?
Oh, well, from 1969, I was a young boy then, teenager actually. Wasn't supposed to be in the casinos,
Yeah.
of course.
Oh, yeah.
but we played the Flamingo Hilton, and at that time we were in one showroom and Elvis was in the other showroom. We were on stage. I don't forget that our manager, we came up to do our encore, and the manager says, guys, step over here, step over here. And we're like, what's going on? We got to go back for the encore. He says, no, you got to step up. So we step over and we look behind the curtain. There's this guy, and he's, how you doing? It's Elvis. He's inviting us out that night, and we went and had peanut butter sandwiches with him at his place that night.
Wow.
So he was a really good guy. We loved Elvis. And I mean, a lot of people used to, back in those days, a lot of people would come to the lounges after the shows. So that's what we used to do. We used to leave the showroom, and all the artists, Sammy Davis, and everybody would go to the lounges. That was that was the best part of the night to us as artists, you know, because it gave us a chance to relax with people, because we like to be more personal. Most artists like to be personal with people. It's only a few that I can think of. I won't say any names right now, but that.
Hello, I'm Emily Connor Cooper for the Italian American Club of Southern Nevada. Since 1961, the Italian American Club has celebrated the food, desserts, music, entertainment, and friendships that have made it a Las Vegas favorite for generations. Supported through the years by legendary names like Frank Sinatra and Tony Bennett, the tradition continues 5 nights a week with authentic Italian cuisine, live music, and world-class entertainment in the showroom. Best of all, they're open to the public and no membership is required. Discover a true Las Vegas best-kept secret, the Italian American Club. Come hungry, leave with a memory, and maybe a cannoli.
Believe it or not, you are the most important people in the world to your children. Seriously, their future is in your hands. The same hands that fill cereal bowls, dry tears while packing school lunches, and then work all day. There's no award for getting kids to school in one piece, but there should be. The good news? There are resources that can ensure your child gets to school and succeeds there. Kindergarten through 3rd grade classes are especially important to your child's growth. Just 2 missed days a month could hurt their ability to learn. Give them the best chance at their future, because they'll be shaping ours.
Yeah, the Rat Pack guys used to hang out for the most part after down in the lounge
Jam
and play.
sessions?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And Paul Anka was hanging out at the Fountain Blue after the show that he did for the opening night. They were all gambling down there, but but those were the old days, of Vegas, which we don't see so much anymore. That we don't have the
Kinda
lounge
sad.
acts,
Right.
That's sad. I think
Yeah.
it's very sad that they don't, because it used to be a 24-hour thing too,
Yeah.
They would have music in all the casinos everywhere. I mean, if you wanted to go any time of day and night, you're there. And I think that's the one thing Vegas needs to bring back that they're missing. When we moved here back in 1999, we were playing, again, we knew nothing, but we were learning fast. And we ended up out in Mesquite at Casablanca. And Shelly said, well, I didn't come to play in Mesquite.
Came to play in Vegas. Why are we going to Mesquite?
Why are we going to Mesquite?
And Pahrump. I mean, it was nice. The people were great,
Oh,
but
yeah,
I'm
they
like,
were.
no, want to
They
be,
were.
because we would see the strip on our way there, and I was like, no, that's where the lights are. I should be there.
So then along the way, we started performing on the strip at Howard's and a few different places.
Yeah.
But then we're traveling so much. The problem with it, if you step out of line, it's like a circulation that goes on with artists here, back then anyway. And then we would travel, so we would step out of line, so we have to wait until we can get back in the rotation type thing.
I see.
And that's why we stayed on the road so much. We said, well, back on the road we go.
Well, and you also spend a lot of time in Japan, right? And I understand that you sing songs in 7 different languages. Is that right?
8 languages, actually.
8?
If you include English.
Wow. Okay, there you go. So that's amazing.
Yeah. Well,
But tell me about Japan.
Oh,
wow.
that was one of the best experiences. Both Wesley and I had been there before we even met each other. After I did the Broadway musicals for a while, it was great, but I said, you know what, there's a big world out here and I want to see the world, so how can I see it for free? And I became a flight attendant with Pan Am.
That's right.
So I was traveling back and forth, so I've been to Japan many, many times, and then him being a stylistic, the Japanese people really love the stylistics. He had been there many times. And finally, when we met and got an opportunity to go there and perform, it was like magic. We were like in a happy place there, and the people were so warm. And we made such good friends over there, and especially one good friend. His name is Konishiki. I have to mention him.
We have a great photo of him.
Oh, he's a champion sumo
650
wrestler.
pounds, 68.
Yeah, look at him. We have a photo.
But his heart is just as big as his body.
He is amazing. His heart is as big as his body.
Wonderful
So
man.
sweet.
We'll have to go back to the Pan Am thing because you have a great photo of that too. That group photo. Can you just tell us about the picture?
Excuse me.
Oh yeah, that was the day we graduated from training. We had our training for like 8 weeks in Hawaii. I'm like, this is training. This is great.
She's a happy camper.
Oh my goodness, we would go to class in the morning and we'd have all the afternoon and the evenings to just hang out on the beach and go out and just explore Hawaii. So I fell in love with it. So that's where Westley and I go all the time for a happy place. And then when we got to Japan and found out that Konishiki, he was actually from Hawaii and he had a house there and everything. And we were going there all the time. And he's like, you guys need to come and stay with me. So we went and stayed with him and his family and everything whenever we
Right
would
on the
go.
beach. What a beautiful
Yeah,
place.
then we ran into him again. Last year, we were on a Viking cruise line ship, and we were in Nashville, and I saw on Facebook that Konishiki was also in Nashville, and I was like, what? So I called him right away, and of course we met and hung out and just gave each other big hugs and stuff. Getting a hug from a sumo wrestler is like nothing you could
bet.
ever imagine.
It's very
oh my
unique.
God, you don't want to leave. It's a big ass hug.
Well, you all, there's so much to talk about because I was going through the photos and there's a picture of you all with like Berry Gordy. Of course, he was from the Commodores, right? When you were
No,
with the Commodores.
yeah, I was in the
Yeah.
Commodore at that time,
Yeah,
and
Motown.
we hadn't seen each other in years. He had the Motown show at the, what was it?
Yeah, it
the,
was a Broadway musical. It was about Marvin Gaye, I
the
think.
theater
was it?
right down here.
I forgot what it was called, but
Yeah.
yeah, we went to see the show because actually one of our friends was in it. He was a dancer that we had met on cruise ships before we stayed in touch with. And he invited us to the show. And we just ran into Berry Gordy, and they were like, "Oh my God, it's so good to see each
I
other."
hadn't seen him in 30 years, so
Wow.
it was quite a.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you all opened for Frankie Valli, right?
Oh yeah, in the Philippines.
We were on
in
the same
Manila.
show, yeah.
Philippines. Oh, yeah. okay.
Yeah, actually Resorts World, the one that's here in Vegas, their parent company, they first started in Malaysia. So we heard about them when we were on the ship. We were based in Singapore for many years, and we got to know everybody from Resorts World. They used to take us off the ship because they owned the ship too, the whole company. What was it called back then?
Ginting.
Star
Ginting owns
Cruises.
Resorts World.
Yeah, they kept changing their
A
name.
Malaysian Chinese company.
Yeah, so we went and
Yeah.
performed at Resorts World. They would pull us off, and they needed an opening act for Frankie Valli, and they got us, and then we just became good friends too. So that was great. Yeah.
Except you didn't tell her what happened with Frankie.
Oh, the picture. I think you had a picture where I'm standing
Yeah.
there with Frankie, and he's like holding me behind my waist. The only thing is he smoked cigars, and so he had the cigar in his hand, like right behind me, and all the while I'm thinking, oh my God, he's going to set fire to my hair in this picture. And I just kept wiggling and trying to move my hair.
And he kept
everything.
saying, "Are you okay?"
I'm fine. Just don't touch my hair with your cigar, but okay, yeah, we're good. Take the picture, bye, you know. But he's so much fun.
Yeah,
oh my
he
God.
was fun.
Yeah.
Well, that's great because he's going to be here soon back at the Westgate. I'm going to go see him next month.
Yeah. Oh my God. we
I
have
met
to
him for
go.
the first time a few months ago.
Yeah.
At a show. But he's great. He still sounds great. He's still, doing his shows.
Oh yeah.
Still
Tell
has
me
the gift.
about when you all met.
Oh, wow.
God.
How
That's a
long ago was
long story.
Yeah, you can probably tell.
All right. Well, from the beginning, a friend of mine I was at the time in the Stylistics, and a friend of mine was producing beauty pageants and things like that. Now, this is going way back. She's going to come in later with some other stuff. But I went to help him give ideas about the music production of the beauty pageant. And I saw this lady, and I said, "Oh, I was very interested." At any rate, she wasn't very interested. At the time, I carried a lot of an entourage, maybe 15 people, and I think that kind of
Wow.
scared her away a little bit. So I asked to have dinner with her. She wasn't interested. So
That was because of your
I
friends.
didn't see her for quite a while. And being from Philadelphia, there's a major club there that we all used to go to. And it was like the elite type place. And I went to this club one night, and who do I see walking around in this little bunny outfit with the ears
I was the
and
cocktail waitress. We had to
and
wear
the,
the
and
bunny
the,
tail.
the little bunny
Oh
tail.
my God.
And I said, "That's her again." So I asked again, would she have, maybe lunch or dinner? And again, she wasn't too interested in that, but she did have a drink with me, and she had to go back to her boss said, "Go over and have a drink." That's the Stylistics. So joined them just for a minute. And she went over and had a drink with me. And then I didn't see her for a while again. Long story short, years later, after I left the Stylistics, a friend of mine bought a nightclub in Philadelphia, and I started performing there. I was playing there, I guess about 2 or 3 times a week, and in walks, this girl was on me pretty heavy, and I wasn't interested in her.
Another girl.
So she says, "I know somebody you might like." All right, about a week later, she comes back, and guess who it was?
Oh, isn't that
And
something?
I hadn't seen her for years at that point.
Wow.
Okay, now something's happening here. Anyway, that night she came up and she sang a song with me. So she was telling me, "Well, I'm on Broadway and I'm doing this and that." I said, "Okay, well, come on, sing a song with me." And she said, "Okay, why not?" So she came and sang a song, and the history to that is that's how Twice as Nice actually got started.
Yeah, a guy was in the audience, and he was opening up a new club right around the corner, like in a couple of weeks or whatever, and he asked us to be, the entertainment. And I'm like, no, I don't do this for a living. You know, I'm a flight attendant. No, you know, and we were just getting to know each other again.
Yeah.
And I turned him down. But then eventually, you know, we started dating, and then I was still with Pan Am. And one day he told me, I was getting ready to go to work. I was based in New York, and I was commuting from Philly. And he goes, don't go to work today. Stay here, play hooky. Let's get together, rehearse some songs, and do something with a guy. Maybe we can work there. And he talked me into it. Anyway, I said, okay, I'll call in sick. I called in sick
Thank
that
God.
day, and it was the same day of the Pan Am Lockerbie crash.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
the bomb.
Oh, my
And so
gosh.
basically he saved my life. So basically I had to marry him. And that's what happened.
Well, we both had to get divorced first,
Yeah, we both were married to other people.
so it kind of worked out.
Wow.
You know.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Yeah,
something?
it was
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
How
yeah.
interesting is that? Wow.
Yeah.
I met you all through Joe Cortez,
That's right.
the legendary boxing referee, Hall of Famer, or Buddy Joe,
Buddy
who's
Joe.
wonderful. And now you're his co-host on Joe's show, which
Yes.
is really cool.
Oh my God.
Joe,
Yeah.
I was one of his guests at Lola's one night. And so that's when I first saw you all perform. And then I requested one of my favorite songs that you all did.
I
One
won't
of my
forget it.
favorites
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
You don't have to be a star
Yeah.
to be in my
Marilyn
show.
McCoo and Billy
Yeah.
Davis. Oh my God,
Yeah.
they were my idols.
Yeah, they're great. And they still are performing. They're doing great.
Yep.
But I saw an interesting photo of you all with OJ. So OJ was he frequented Lola's.
He was a fan.
That's
Yeah.
another
Fan?
story.
Yeah.
Yeah. OJ was
Of
there.
many, he was definitely one.
He was such a fan, and he would come all the time. And we took a picture together, and he had his arm behind my back. And the whole time, people are like commenting, "Are you sure he didn't have a knife in that hand? You know, he could have been." I was like,
That's
"Oh my
bad.
God,
That's-
don't say that's not knife." But every time, you know, he hugged me, I'm still like looking. I'm joking. But he was very kind, very
Yeah,
sweet.
he
and
was, you
He got
know,
us another job too.
he got us-
yeah,
exactly.
in a cigar bar we
He,
started playing because he used to go to the cigar bar all the time. And he just called up the owner. The owner came rushing over to Lola's and he goes, "Yeah, I want them on this night." And so he was a good friend to us.
He
yeah.
was. He was a-
Yeah.
Yeah.
We met a lot of wonderful people in our career, you know. Well, when I used to be United States Taekwondo champion, light heavyweight Taekwondo.
Oh wow.
And I trained in Deer Lake with Muhammad Ali. I got that because he was a fan. He would show up in our shows whenever he could. Stylistics was there, Muhammad was there. There was always a seat waiting for him. We knew when he was coming because it was just right there, almost on the stage with us, literally. But he was one of the greatest guys. He said, "I'll tell you, I'll let you train in my camp if you teach me that funny stuff," he said. He called it that funny stuff. And so I taught him some Taekwondo punching and some kicking. He said the kicks made him move faster with his foot speed. He said it was.
We have a photo of you with him. About what year was that?
At that time, I guess I was about 19 years old, 18 years old.
Yeah.
So that would be, wow, what year was that? I'm not going to tell you.
Early 70s, right? Or
Yeah,
60s?
it was actually that year was 1975, if I'm correct. He was in San Juan, Puerto Rico. He was fighting Pierre Koopman, a Frenchman, and he did win that fight. And he came to our show the night before, Stylistics. We were performing there, and then he did his thing the next day. And,
Wow.
Yeah, he was a good guy.
It's funny how Muhammad Ali kind of brought us all together too with
Yeah,
Joe.
yeah.
You know, when we first met Joe, and it was just like love at first sight. Joe's like one of the most kindest and
Yes.
smartest individuals
Heart of
that
gold.
we've ever met. And when we all met, we just like locked in just like that. And now I'm so honored to be his co-host on the show. We talk to him a million times a day. He's always coming up with ideas, always coming up with places for us to go and check out and everything. And like, my calendar is so full, Joe. What are we doing today? Okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. So it's always been great. You know, we're lucky to meet good people here in Vegas like you, you know, and Joe. It's just been real special.
I love
being
doing
here.
Joe's show. It flies by so quickly.
It
You know, because we just
does.
talk and yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's so natural.
All right, we're going to take a break and we'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Emily Connor Cooper for the Italian American Club of Southern Nevada. Since 1961, the Italian American Club has celebrated the food, desserts, music, entertainment, and friendships that have made it a Las Vegas favorite for generations. Supported through the years by legendary names like Frank Sinatra and Tony Bennett, the tradition continues 5 nights a week with authentic Italian cuisine, live music, and world-class entertainment in the showroom. Best of all, they're open to the public and no membership is required. Discover a true Las Vegas best-kept secret, the Italian American Club. Come hungry, leave with a memory, and maybe a cannoli.
In Nevada, anything that goes into the storm drain goes directly to our local waterways, which can pollute Nevada's lakes and rivers. Here's some waterway wisdom so you can help do your part this spring. Clean up vehicle leaks and spills. Scoop your dog's poop, bag it, and discard it. Apply fertilizers and pesticides sparingly. Avoid sprinkler runoff. Use waterway wisdom. And remember, only rain should go into the storm drain. Join us in working together to preserve our water resources for future generations of Nevadans.
So Wesley, you went to Juilliard, right?
Yes,
So you both lived in New York because you
Yeah.
were on Broadway. I'm really curious to kind of know about the music scene in Philadelphia because I know it was a really big deal back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah, well, see, in Philadelphia, for example, when the Stylistics got together, me being the youngest, the baby, more or less, in Philadelphia, people would sing on the corners. The groups, a lot of these groups that became very big would be singing on the corners. So I would leave school, I'm leaving junior high school, and I'm coming home, and they're standing on the corner, and they're trying to get their harmonies together. And then here comes the kid. He'll tell us how to do this, and because they used to have issues. So then I would sing the parts for them, and they would all get all the right parts together.
Wow.
Philadelphia was famous for, at one time, as you know, doo-wop type thing.
Yeah.
And then in the 60s, then it moved on to a more progressive R&B, smooth type of a sound, you know.
But we're going to bring it back.
We're going to
because
bring it back.
No, I
yeah.
love that.
We're actually getting together a tribute to the sound of Philadelphia because everybody loves Motown from the 60s, you know, and then
That's-
70s. It was
I
Philly.
love that. So we're out of time now, but I'd love for you all to come back if you could, and we can talk more about that. There's
Yeah.
plenty to talk about, and you all are so fascinating, and you're lovely people. You are twice as nice.
too.
But thank you all,
Thank
and
you.
we're wrapping it up today. We're out of time, but we'll see you next time on Legends and Laughs.